Dear esteemed conference attendants, I am deeply disappointed that I'm not able to be in this hall together so that we can interact. This is due to some travel logistics that made it not possible for me to join you. Then this is 22nd. This 22nd. Tomorrow is the conference, which is today. It's 11 o'clock in the night. And I just realized, yes, I have a smartphone. And although I'm deep in the village, I also have spotlights, torches. And I thought I can try this. I have nobody to take a video for this, speech. So I'm using a selfie. Please bear with me, but the urge for me to talk to you was great. So, allow me to observe all protocols and go on to warmly welcome you to our 9th African Agribusiness Incubation Conference and Expo, the AAICE 2024. We are very happy as AAIN that we are just a year shy of our golden anniversary since we started conferencing. And this makes us very proud despite all the odds that we have that have come our way. We really have kept moving and helping our continent in matters agribusiness incubation. We are happy that right from the inception, we have walked this journey with many of you, and at the same time, many of you have been joining us every year, and therefore we are walking the journey together, both from Africa and beyond. We are extremely grateful for your assistance and the fact that you are here with us. From 2013 to date, the AAICE has been hosted by Rwanda, South Africa, Kenya, Ghana, Senegal, Malawi, Uganda, Nigeria, respectively, and now, today, it is Zambia. You can see, ladies and gentlemen, that we are traversing Africa. Now, in Dr. Kwame Nkrumah's words, forward ever, backwards never. With your support and guided by Dr. Nkrumah's wisdom, we surely see ourselves fully fulfilling the AAIN vision and mission. Now, this year's conference theme of enhancing entrepreneurship education and innovative skills for employment in Africa could not have come at a better time. The needs of the 21st century have ushered in the third mission of the university, which is to generate, use, apply, and exploit knowledge with external stakeholders and the society in general. The university can no longer be an ivory tower that churns out scholars only. Every university must today be entrepreneurial. That is, it must develop the capacity to innovate, recognize, and create opportunities. And this is why the conference theme is relevant. And I'm happy that among us, we have educators and academicians. Dear participants, according to the African Development Bank Group, of Africa's about 420 million youth, aged between 15 and 25, or the Gen Zs as they call them, 1/3 are unemployed and discouraged. Another 1/3 is vulnerably employed, and only 1 in 6 is in wage employment. This is where the theme of this conference squarely comes in. African universities need to transit from the first and the second university missions of teaching and doing basic fundamental research to the third mission of contributing to economic development and applying research findings in business practices. My interactions with several universities across the continent reveal that many of our universities are stuck at the first and second missions of the university. We use teacher-centered approaches to lecture to passive knowledge receivers, and at the end of the semester, we give them written examinations that require of them to recall what we lecture to them, as we award them grades based on 100% marks. Many then go on to graduate with first-class honors, but find it difficult to get absorbed in industry. That explains the findings of the African Center for Economic Transformation, the ACET, that 50% of graduates in Africa do not find work each year. When we insist that to graduate, our students must publish in refereed journals, then we demotivate them from addressing local issues that may not qualify for publication in such journals. Our local graduates start thinking globally and acting globally, rather than thinking globally and acting locally, to solve local problems in society. I hope I'm speaking to the academicians in this conference. The unwritten message is, in this timely theme of the conference of enhancing entrepreneurship, education, and innovative skills for employment in Africa, is that universities in Africa must proportionately balance out the three missions of the university. There may be many ways of doing this balancing act, and one of them is what we at AAIN advocate for. We support the learner-centered teaching approaches guided by outcome rather than output-based curriculum. Rather than focus on quantities that we are producing at the graduation square with which grades, there is need to think of what those outputs can do, and those are the outcomes. That then informs the process of producing the outputs, with incubation playing a very key role in this process. At AAIN, we are aware that the wheels of the universities in Africa turn very slowly. We are alive to the fact that our direct and indirect services can accelerate the said turning of the wheels. At the headquarters, we have the expertise to help set up campus incubators under their programs. We have developed a learn as you earn, what we call LAYE or LAYE model, which we, through our board members, have successfully implemented. Suffice it to mention the Jomo Kenyatta University of Agriculture and Technology in Kenya, where our curriculum has used, or rather, where our chairman has used it to help students start businesses while still on campus to become earning learners. Yes, indeed, I have done it, and therefore it is doable. We also work with our incubator members to achieve results. For example, in Uganda, our member Churiat has empowered farmers and student entrepreneurs through incubation services like training, market linkages, business development, workstation provisions to help develop employment creating ventures. Therefore, at AIN, both directly and indirectly, we have developed the capacity to help that in Africa. Now, lest it is lost to us, the AAIN was established on the belief and conviction that agriculture is a major source of income and employment in Africa. NEPAD tells us that agriculture provides 60% of all employment and constitutes the backbone of most African economies. Now, in most countries in Africa, it is still agriculture, the largest contributor of GDP, the biggest source of foreign exchange. It is still accounting for about 40% of the continent's hard currency earnings. And it's the main generator of savings and tax revenues. The agricultural sector is also still the dominant provider of industrial raw materials, with about 2/3 of manufacturing value added in most African countries being based on agricultural raw materials. Agriculture therefore remains crucial for economic growth in most African countries, yet not many Generation Z, Gen Z, are attracted to it. The African Development Bank Group laments that there is an untapped agricultural potential that has contributed to the persistent poverty and the deteriorating food security, with the bank projecting an increase in the number of undernourished people on the continent from approximately 240 million in 2015 to approximately 320 million next year, 2025. The said situation calls for the enhancement of entrepreneurship, education, and innovative skills to create not just employment for the youth, but also reduce poverty and enhance food security. That is why the theme for this conference becomes timely. It is my hope that this conference will produce a concrete agenda to address the problems identified above and indeed many others. I particularly hope that scholars and educators in this conference will go back to the universities and become change agents or change makers at their institutions. The change being a transition to the third mission of the university. Such a transition will enable universities to set up campus business incubators, and such incubators will help students start businesses while still on campus, since this is possible. The said campus incubators should be able to attract the youth into agriculture. One way of doing that is to study the entire agricultural value chain and identify entry points for the youth. Now, allow me to illustrate this with a personal example. Africa is a major exporter of avocados and at the same time an importer of avocado oil. Avocado-based briquettes and avocado-based animal feed. My learn as you earn learner-centered teaching approach that demands for projects at the end of the semester examinations led my students to produce avocado oil and carbonize the peels for briquettes. And indeed, we have fed animals with the avocado stone. This example shows that while the youth may consider working on farms as not sexy, they love the value addition aspects, including online selling of the manufactured products. When we export our raw materials, we deny our youth the opportunity to add value to them. Entrepreneurial education not necessarily entrepreneurship education, supported by campus incubation programs, can be a magic wand to release Africa's potential for growth and development. In conclusion, I wish to say that AAIN is ready to assist our continent to develop. Apart from what we are already doing, we can also, 1, design incubation programs for individual universities and other organizations. Yes, we were ready as yesterday, to help universities that are willing to set such programs. Number 2, partner with universities to train incubation staff. Yes, we have developed enough capacity to help each and every university on the continent to train incubation staff. Number 3, accredited incubation certificates and diplomas. Yes, we are certified to accredit those incubation credentials. Number 4, help retool university staff in learner-centered teaching approaches. Yes, we can help universities transit from first and second missions to the third mission. And finally, we can run agribusiness project pitching programs. We hence seek for like-minded organizations and stakeholders who can sponsor such pitching programs to, set the ball rolling. May I wish all of us a very productive conference. Thank you very much, and I wish you all